Hello and good morning. Good Monday morning. Today is June the 12th, 2023, and welcome to this, your weekly reading and predictions. My name is Marnie. I am the intuitive butterfly. If any of this resonates with you, kindly give me a like and subscribe. And yes, I am available for private readings if you are drawn towards my energy. If you are new here, the way that these readings work is in a couple of moments, I'm going to ask you to go into a light meditative state. And from this very light meditative state, I'm going to ask you or present to you 3 different rock stems or trinkets. And I'm going to ask you to intuitively decide which rock gem or trinket you are drawn towards. Kindly wait until all 3 are presented before you actually make your choice. And then I will pull cards from the previously assigned decks. These are general readings intended for anybody. You do need to tap into your intuition a little bit in order to determine which rock gem or trinket you are most drawn towards. We're going to have a look at your dominant energies influencing you this week, as well as shadow energies. Now, shadow energies are energies that are bubbling or brewing just below the surface. What else can I say? All right. Let's get started with the meditation. So, for those of you who are returning here, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I am coming to you from Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. I'm getting used to being nomadic, and I have a new setup almost every time I come on. So if it does look like my eyes are wandering, it is because I have to adapt to the new energies each week as I come on and record this. And the energies come in from different locations based on where I'm actually sitting. So just letting you know, if you do see me kind of wandering, my eyes are wandering around, it's because I'm tapping into new energies. All right, so get yourself comfortable. Take a couple of deep breaths and begin to relax. And comfortable for you may look like sitting down. It may look like lying down. Whatever is most comfortable for you. You may choose to close your eyes or have your eyes open. The choice is really yours. Begin to concentrate on your breath more deeply. How does your breath feel as you inhale and as you exhale? Can you notice that there are physiological changes happening in your body? Can you notice that as you concentrate on your breath, the rest of your body responds by changing? Tap into your heart rate. Does your heart begin to beat a little bit more slowly as you tap into your breath? Or does your heart rate initially race ever so slightly as your conscious mind resists going into a relaxed state? Perhaps some of you have never noticed this phenomenon consciously before. Pay attention to everything. Take another couple of deep breaths. You feeling oh so relaxed at this point. You may hear different sounds coming through. This also helps you to relax ever more slightly. I bet right there, your conscious mind wanted me to say ever more deeply. You see, the conscious mind jumps in when it feels that something is not in alignment with what it wants. Have you ever noticed this phenomenon before? And so, with that, take another deep breath. This will be your final deep, deep, deep breath all the way in, and relax deeply. Now, if you've had your eyes closed, please open your eyes. And I'm going to present you with the first of this week's rocks, gems, or trinkets. We have this seashell. If you are attracted or drawn towards this seashell, I'll be pulling cards for you from deck number 1. Our second rock, gem, or trinket this week is this Flourite Pointe. It's got greens and purples and whites in it. So if you are intuitively drawn towards this Flourite Pointe, I'll be pulling cards for you from deck number 2. And finally, this week, we have a Herkimer diamond. Herkimer diamonds represent change, big change. So if you are drawn towards this Herkimer diamond, I'll be pulling cards for you from one of my brand new decks that I am still getting used to. So just a heads up that reading may be really different from what you're used to, just because I am still getting used to this deck and infusing this deck with my energy. So at this point in time, make your choice, either the seashell or the Flourite Pointe or the Herkimer diamond. All right, let's get started with deck number 1. For those of you who selected this seashell, I will be pulling cards for you this week from the Animal Tarot. Now, the Animal Tarot does not come out very often anymore. It was my very, very, very first tarot deck. Let's go. Animals, please come in and show me the dominant energies influencing those who selected this seashell this week. Is there anything else that you would like to show us this week? Anything else? No. All right. So we do have 2 cards that have popped out together. We have we have the gecko and we have the coyote. We have the 5 of Wands. The gecko is represented by the 5 of Wands here. And we have the coyote. And this card corresponds to the Fool in the traditional tarot. So whenever we receive a 5 in the tarot, 5s represent conflict. It represents coming to a crossroads. It represents being on a journey and getting to that point on the journey where all of a sudden we have to make a decision, and it's usually a fairly significant decision. When we have 2s show up in the tarot, 2s represent a minor indecision, coming to, just a Y in the road. You're going, oh, well, I'm going to go this way. And it's a fairly easy decision to make. When we receive a 5, it is when the universe has put something in place for us that is a little bit more challenging. And so the gecko is representing change, right? And it's representing a challenge or a struggle that's being put in our pathway at this time. So for this week, those of you who selected this shell, this is an indication that there are some struggles coming forward for you this week. Now, where are these struggles coming from and what's the outcome? Well, that comes from the Fool. And that is the Coyote, or in this particular deck, it's represented by the Coyote. Let's see if we can get that beautiful Coyote to come into focus. Maybe, come on. No, it does not want to focus. Okay, so the Fool in the traditional tarot is all about new beginnings, which is absolutely fantastic. So the fact that you had the Five of Wands on top of the Fool is definitely indicating that there is some kind of change that's coming in that is challenging you and bringing some struggles up for you. Struggles that, these are not struggles that you cannot overcome. One of the sayings that comes to mind for me is that in life, we meet with speed bumps in the road, but there's also roadblocks that we can come across. Fives are speed bumps. We need to slow down for those speed bumps. We need to ease our way over those speed bumps. Sometimes we have to kind of go over the speed bumps on an angle instead of straight on in order to be able to get over them in a safe way so that we don't, cause damage to ourselves. But they're not insurmountable. Okay. And so my sense is with these two cards coming up is those of you who chose the shell, you're facing a speed bump this week, something that you are going to have to navigate over. It's not insurmountable. It's just something that's got in your way this week. Why has this got in your way? It's got in your way because you have this Fool coming in. You have the Coyote coming in. You have something new coming towards you this week, right? And for so many of us, when something new comes in, it's a little bit of a challenge for us, right? We don't like change. We as humans, we resist change. So what does the Coyote tell us this week? Well, coyotes are extremely ingenious creatures. Coyotes have the ability and the capacity to be able to change and adapt faster than most of the other four-legged creatures that we have on our planet. It's one of the reasons why coyote populations have a tendency to explode when other four-legged populations are in decline. It's because the coyote is able to adapt quickly, right? Especially they can adapt to change. So I'm going to wrap up this portion of the reading, and then I'm going to go into your shadows in just a moment. But what these cards are indicating for you this week, just as the sort of Cole's notes or Cliff's notes, is there's a change barreling towards you with this gecko. It is going to feel like you have hit a speed bump. It's going to cause you to need to slow down in order to be able to navigate the speed bump without causing any damage to your vehicle. But in rewards for navigating that speed bump, there is something new coming in for you. And the coyote is telling you that you have the skills necessary to be able to navigate this change, to be able to adapt to this change. Now, let's have a look at what's on the bottom of the deck for you. You have the Six of Swords. This is the dove. This is about moving between some worlds, but the Six of Swords is also a card of, it's a card of being able to adapt again, right? But this is your shadow. This is your shadow this week. So this week, both indicated in your dominant energy as well as your shadow energy is this need to be able to adapt and change to your environment. Now, yes, I am going to go there. There are reports from what you might call the conspiracy theorists that there's an important date coming up this week, and there may be some significant changes and shifts happening on a global scale. I won't go into any details further than that. If you would like to dig deeper, send me a private message or something like that. Or, if you are interested in this kind of thing, you probably are already aware of what the so-called conspiracy theorists are predicting for later this week. And so these cards that have come up for you this week are indicating that there is a change or a shift in the energies, most likely on more of a global scale, but it's going to require you to change and adapt. But the coyote coming in is really important, saying that you have all of the skills necessary in order to be able to change and adapt to your new environment, and change and adapt in a very, very quick fashion. So I'm going to leave your reading there. Thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that this resonated with you. If you were drawn towards both the shell and one of the other trinkets this week, then I encourage you to watch the other video as well. Quite often, there are commonalities or themes that run through the videos each week. So with that, thank you so much, and I hope you'll join me again next Monday. All right, moving right along. For those of you who selected the Flourite Pointe with all these purples and greens and whites, I'll be pulling cards for you from the traditional tarot, from my old cheater deck. It's funny because today I'm using the oldest deck that I ever got, and that was the shell reading. And now I'm using my cheater deck, which is also an older deck in my collection. And then I also have a brand new deck that I'm going to be using. It's interesting to me just how, I've got two old decks and a brand new deck, and yeah, let's see what comes out for you guys. For those who selected the Flourite Pointe, dominant energies influencing those who selected the Flourite Pointe this week. Dominant energies. What would you like to show us? Creator and spirit. Okay, we're going to have to go through the deck again. But that's not unusual these days. There are so many changes coming in, especially this week. I did, quote unquote, go there. It is indicated by some of the so-called conspiracy theorists that there is a significant change or shift coming this week. So, yeah, and the first reading in this video did indicate a fairly significant change or shift. So let's see. One more time. Set this on top. All right. There we go. We got cards flipping out now. Yep. Woo! Oh, look at them all. That was what we needed. Wow. We have a lot of cards that have come out here. I can see a 5 that's come out. A couple of major arcana. We have a 5 and a 6 together from the same suit. Okay. All right. So the very first card that came out for you was the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is a card of giving and receiving. It is a card of philanthropy. It's a card of generosity. It's a card of having achieved a level of financial security, in that you are in that place of being able to do a little bit of generous or philanthropic type work. It's about maybe giving some donations. But you also have the Five of Pentacles that's come out right next to it. And the Five of Pentacles is a card of difficult financial situation. It's a card of tight financial constraints at this time. So it's interesting that you have both the Five and Six of Pentacles coming out side by side. One is indicating you have enough abundance to be able to be generous, and you have the other one indicating that you may be bumping into some financial blocks this week. You also have the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, you have a lot of pentacles coming in this week. Ace of Pentacles is about new beginnings with regards to your finances. You've got the King of Cups. King of Cups is about about relationships, possibly someone coming in who is going to act as a mentor for you or a partner for you, someone who's trustworthy and dependent. And you've got the Nine of Swords coming in here. The Nine of Swords is the card of catastrophizing, of worry. And then, as I mentioned, you have two cards from the major arcana coming in. And these are opposite cards as well. You've got the High Priestess coming in next to the Devil. I'm trying to get the reflections off here. I've got my light is putting a reflection on everything. Anyway. So let's have a look at all of these energies coming in for you, because this is pretty significant. The High Priestess is indicating that there is something new or hidden beginning to awaken within you. High Priestess is all about your intuition. It's a journey of self-discovery. Woohoo, something is awakening within me. But then you have the Devil right next to it. Now, the Devil coming out right next to the High Priestess is actually indicating that there is some kind of resistance on your part, resisting intuition, resisting psychicness, resisting moving into that ethereal, right? The Devil is all about you needing to reevaluate your relationship with material things, reevaluate your relationship with why you do what you do. Okay. The Nine of Swords is a card of worry. Now, it stands to reason that you may have a card of worry coming in because of these pentacles. But then again, you had the Nine of Swords coming in right next to the King of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So many energies going on this week. So many energies going on this week. So let's break it down. You have some ethereal stuff going on this week, and you have some real world things going on this week. Okay. From the ethereal, you've got the High Priestess coming in and you've got the Devil coming in. The High Priestess is indicating that there is some intuition or psychicness that is opening up for you at this time. And yet the Devil is indicating that you are resisting that in some way, shape, or form. Why are you resisting that at this time? Probably because of a belief system that you have from when you were younger, that being psychic or being intuitive is somehow doing the devil's work, for lack of a better way of looking at it. So many of us with any kind of religious upbringing And I'm not going to specify any kind of, I'm not going to point fingers at a specific religion, because many religions have similar underlying themes. And one of the underlying themes that runs through many religious traditions is that being psychic and tapping into the unseen world is somehow wrong or negative or dangerous. So when the high priestess comes in, indicating that there is some psychic intuition coming up and bubbling up for you, then the devil comes out and sits on our shoulder and goes, "Woo, you shouldn't do that. Ooh, think about your upbringing." Okay. These are the energies that are coming up for you this week. It is something for you to explore and to look into. Now, looking at these other cards with these 3 pentacles, 3 cards from the suit of pentacles coming in, as well as the King of Cups, as well as the 9 of Swords coming in. This is more dealing with the physical world, the earthly realm, and the earthly realm being money, job, career. And what this is indicating is that you may be a little worried about some stuff. I'm trying to get this to focus over here without the reflection, but these are reflective cards. Okay. The 5 of Pentacles is indicating that you may be worrying about money and finances right now, but then the 6 is right next to it. And the 6 is saying, hey, you've reached that place where you have the opportunity now to be a little bit philanthropic and to be a little bit generous. Why? Because you have been smart with your money. You have this Ace of Pentacles. Good things are coming towards you. Positive card regarding a new enterprise, regarding, so for those of you in a solid existing job, this may indicate that there may be additional financial rewards coming your way in the form of a bonus or a raise. For those of you who are on your own, self-employed, it could indicate that there is a new client coming your way that's going to increase your financial abundance. For those of you just starting out, starting your own new business, this is, I mean, the Ace of Pentacles is a good positive card with regards to money and finances. The King of Cups coming in here is an indication that you may have a mentor coming in order to help you. So this mentor may be the person that's rewarding you with a new raise. This mentor may be someone coming in who's going to partner with you or help to increase your business. But unfortunately, one of the things that you're doing this week is you're catastrophizing. You're caught up in your mind going, I'm so worried with this 9 of Swords coming in. So that's that. You have good things coming up this week. You have intuition coming in, but you're going to have to explore why you're blocking your intuition. You do have good things coming in with this 6 of Pentacles and this Ace of Pentacles. So stop catastrophizing. I mean, I can't say it any more clearly. Stop concentrating on what could go wrong. All right. Let's have a look at the card that is on the bottom of the deck for you. We have the World in reverse for you. The World in reverse as your shadow is indicating that there are good things coming in towards you at this time, which is great, wonderful, yay. But you might have to wait till next week. Okay. The World always indicates good things coming towards you. Now, when it comes up upright, it means it's immediate. It's almost like that immediate gratification. When it comes up in reversed, it doesn't mean that good things are not coming towards you. Good things are still rolling towards you, but they're slightly delayed. Not a big deal. All right, so I'm going to leave off your reading there. If this resonated with you, please give me a like and subscribe. I am available for private readings, and I'll put my contact information down below. I hope that you'll join me again next week for your next weekly reading. Okay, and moving right along. To those of you who selected the Herkimer diamond, as I mentioned at the beginning, Herkimer diamonds are all about change. In fact, some people will say, don't even pick up a Herkimer diamond unless you want to create change in your life. As you can see, I'm kind of rubbing this card rubbing this Herkimer diamond because I'm looking to make even more changes in my life at this time. Yeah, as if moving from Mexico back to Canada and going from a stationary lifestyle in a house to living in an RV and moving around wasn't enough change within the last 2 months. I'm introducing new cards into my readings as well as making some other changes. So let's hope that those of you who selected this Herkimer diamond are ready for some change. Now, as previously mentioned, I'm going to be using a new deck, new to me deck. It is Energy and Spirit Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor. I've only had this deck for about a week, so I am still getting used to it. I do read cards intuitively. So, you know, as much as there is the little book that's come along with it, I may or may not pull out the book. I'm not sure. I do tend to go into that place of intuition when I'm reading cards. So let's have a look at the dominant energies influencing those who selected the Herkimer diamond this week. What dominant energies are influencing those who selected the Herkimer diamond? One more time through the deck. Oh, this deck is saying it wants to be cut. It doesn't want to jump. I heard that really clearly. All right, there is the card. You can see it. Which one? That one. All right, we're going to actually pull out 2 cards here. Okay. Soulful appreciation, heartfelt gratitude, and Archangel Raziel, wisdom, inspiration, and Akashic records. I like this. You know what's really interesting for me is that, like I said, I've only had this deck about a week now, and these 2 cards have come out for me at least 3 times in the last week as I've been working with these cards and getting used to them and infusing them with the energies that I usually work with and having my spirit guides tap into these cards. These 2 cards have come out 3 times, maybe even 4 in the last week. So it's interesting that they've come out for you as well. Soulful appreciation. This is a card of balance. This is a card of expressing gratitude. Okay. So here's the thing. We have a whole bunch of gold on this side, and we all know that gold is relatively heavy and weighty. And yet on the other side, we have a butterfly. Butterflies are light as a feather. So how is the scale actually almost tipping towards the butterfly? Well, here's the thing. When we create abundance into our lives, we also need to create gratitude for that abundance. Because when we do not express gratitude for the gifts that we are receiving, what happens? The gifts that we're receiving, the abundance that's coming in, has a tendency to take on a lighter quality and retreat from our lives. Easy come, easy go. I'm sure we're all familiar with that saying. Okay. So the picture on this card is actually showing or expressing that the butterfly is expressing more gratitude in its life for its beauty and its life and its ability to be able to fly than all of the gold over here. And therefore, in the universal energies that are out there. I mean, we're not talking about physical energy. We're talking about the energies that we're putting out there. This is more of an ethereal type reading for you. If you wanted something more grounded this week, you'd have to look at the shell or the Flourite Pointe reading. Both of those were very, very much based in reality this week. This one is a very ethereal reading this week, especially with the Archangel Raziel coming in for us, encouraging us and reminding us that if we want answers, we need to tap into the Akashic records. Okay. So here's the thing. Yes, gold comes from the physical world, but if we're not expressing and putting gratitude out into the ethereal for the gold that we have in our lives, then the gold has no weight for us. It has no meaning for us in our lives. That's essentially what this is saying this week. So keep that in mind as you go about your week and as you are creating abundance into your life. Keep that in mind, that expressing gratitude for what we have increases what we have in our lives. And when we don't express gratitude, easy come, easy go, away it goes. And the other thing is that if you're looking for wisdom and inspiration this week, tap into your Akashic records. If you're looking for guidance this week, call upon Archangel Raziel, but as well tap into your Akashic records. Let's have a look at the card on the bottom. Oh my gosh. So the card on the bottom of the deck is your shadow this week. It's what's bubbling and brewing down below the surface, and it's what you need to be made aware of in order to be able to overcome something that might be holding you back. And what you got was attachment, desperation, and longing. And you'll notice that the character on this card is all caught up in a spider web. And they are entangled. What are they entangled in? Longing and desperation. When we long for, when we express desperation, for example, for abundance and gold in our lives, there's no gratitude. When there's no gratitude, easy come, easy go. Like I said, the gold tends to disappear more quickly. When we are expressing longing and desperation in our lives, when we have that attachment to something and we're holding on so tightly to it, it has a tendency to want to walk away. This can go not only for our financial abundance, but what just came in for me. Wow. What just came in for me is that for some of you, this is about a relationship. And if you hold on to a relationship, if you hold on to another person really, really tightly, they're going to want to walk away. Desperation is ugly in a relationship. Do you know what's beautiful in a relationship? Letting go of the attachment. So whether you are holding on for dear life to a relationship, or whether you are holding on for dear life in fear of lack of money or abundance, what you are actually doing is pushing that relationship or pushing that abundance away this week. Let go of your attachment to it. Practice heartfelt gratitude instead of practicing worry. Right? Longing and attachment and desperation are shadows. They are something that does not serve us to move forward in our desire to increase love, to increase that deep emotional connection to another, to increase our financial abundance, or to increase emotional abundance. All of these things are blocked by longing, desperation, and attachment. So with that, I am going to leave off. Thank you so much for joining me. If this resonated, kindly consider giving me a like, maybe even share my video. And if you are interested in a private reading with me, all of the contact details will be down below. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again next Monday.